Hi, this is Olivia Rice, and this is for AEP 858 Data Analysis and Assessment. This is my Module 15 case study. This case study is titled Everyday Counts. So to kind of summarize the case, what has happened or is happening. So at Golden Oak High School, they're struggling with their attendance rates. During the past years, Golden Oak High School had received recognition for achieving the highest rate of attendance among all high schools in their district. But in more recent years, approximately 85% of the student population has missed 10 or more days of each school year. So this occurred, like I said, at Golden Oak High School. This high school has grades 9 through 12, and then the community is involves middle income families. Most parents are professional working, and the other ones work in an industry within the community. And then this last year, they had their lowest attendance rate. So it's just kind of decreasing or going down. The people who are involved in this situation are the staff members. So Mr. Rhodes, who's the principal, Mr. Newman, who's the superintendent, and then some teachers. So there's teachers that are excusing absences that don't follow policy. And then there's also teachers who are failing to take attendance every day. And then the students, we have Karen, Tyrone, Christina, Carl, and John. And these are the students who have 10 or more absences during the first semester. So this is occurring in January. The principal is looking at data from the first semester. And so this is what he's gathered so far. And then also the community members, the stakeholders, the parents, the people who are requesting the absences to be excused are definitely involved in this situation. So the people who are involved, what do they have to say about it? So Mr. Newman, who's the superintendent, described several problems with the school's instructional program that he wanted Mr. Rhodes, the principal, to improve. The most pressing concern related to school attendance. So Mr. Newman explained that the school board policy was aligned with the state law, which allowed excused absences only for illness, death in the immediate family, inclement weather, and a valid reason excused by the principal with prior approval. He also pointed out that the local school district policy penalized students' grades for unexcused absences in excess of 5 days. Upon 5 unexcused absences in a class, teachers had authority to subtract 10 points from the student's total number of points for the quarter. Mr. Newman also describes the positive relationship between the school district and the agencies, such as social service and the juvenile court, and he encouraged Mr. Rhodes, who's the principal, to work closely with these two entities to remedy attendance problems. So, is there any legal or ethical issues going on? The parents' patry, which is a common law doctrine that gives the state the prerogative to secure the welfare of individuals, plays a big part. So in 1944, Prince v. Massachusetts, the U.S. Supreme Court found a legal guardian guilty of contributing to the delinquency of a minor. So defined the state's prerogative as superior to parents when parents fail to provide for the welfare of their children. So the court expressed the view that children have the right to be protected not only against physical abuse, but also against the ignorance of their parents. So this case established a precedent for attendance cases. Decisions in cases related to school attendance are based on the benefit that 1, education is vital to the welfare of the state, and then 2, the requirement of education is not an unreasonable exercise of power. So those are kind of our legal issues, and then ethically, teachers are accountable for accurate documentation of student attendance, which some are failing to do. So just to kind of synthesize the facts, the declining attendance rates at Golden Oak High School are causing problems in student learning and teacher accountability. Stakeholders in the school community need to be involved in correcting these problems and in developing a school culture that values attendance and understands the relationship between high academic achievement and attendance. So, the people who are involved, like I said, the students, Karen, she's in 11th grade, and she's not coming to school because she recently got married in August. Tyrone, he's a 10th grader. He's not coming to school because his family has excused him to go on family trips. These are his parents' work trips. Christina, she's a freshman, and she hasn't been at school because she's been out of town attending church meetings. Carl, who's a sophomore, he's been missing classes because he has vocational classes in the afternoon, so I think it's just harder for him to get to class in the mornings. And his parents also excuse him, and they don't feel like it's necessary that he has to be in school. And then John, who's an 11th grader, he's been missing school because he's been in physical therapy. The staff members, Mr. Rhodes, Mr. Newman, and the teachers, and then obviously the parents, the community members, and the Board of Education is also involved. This, like I said, is happening in Golden Oak High School. There's 965 students, grades 9 through 12. So the reputation for having a low turnover rate among the teaching staff. Most teachers have at least 10 years of experience in their current assignments. From year to year, the school has added only 1 or 2 new teachers to the staff. So the program, students are offered many extracurricular activities, including 11 different sports teams. Football is the dominant sport, supported by the community at large, with a rival high school in the same district. Sports activities, in addition to 31 different clubs, present opportunities for all students to be involved in some kind of school-sponsored activity. And then there's also a vocational opportunity. So just to review and prioritize our information, administrators and teachers are responsible for student attendance documentation and following the district attendance policy. Student attendance is obviously impacting the process of learning because all of those students' grades have decreased. Communication is lacking. Several different entities are involved but not on the same page. Guardians are supporting the absence of their children in school, and then community is being affected due to the youth lacking education and possibly not learning about the benefits of job credentials, skills, and experiences for when they graduate high school and become members of that community or get jobs. So to identify my options and possible consequences, so I kind of broke this down into 2 different categories: unrealistic and realistic. Unrealistic, I could do nothing, or I could fire all the staff members who are involved. Realistically, I could have students make up the work, but I feel like this might be kind of a temporary fix, because if that's the case, then anytime they miss again, they're just going to expect to make up the work. Students must bring up their grades in order to participate in extracurricular activities. Or we could revisit the attendance policy with input from teachers, students, community members, parents, etc., to maybe find something that suits us better. So to kind of evaluate my options. So if I did nothing, the disadvantages of that is the absences would still occur, student learning would lack, and it's illegal to not take attendance and for students not to be in school. The advantages is that nothing would be disrupted. If I fire all the staff members, kind of a con would be that I'd have to rehire all new staff members and I might lose some great educators. The advantages would be policy would be taken seriously and teachers would probably stop being lenient with excusing absences. If I just had students make up the work, the disadvantages is parents might be agitated, teachers will have to grade late papers. The advantages would be students would be held accountable for their learning because they'd have to learn it on their own time. And then students would learn that the work doesn't just go away when they're absent. If I had students bring up their grades in order to participate in extracurriculars, the disadvantages would be coaches and the team would suffer, and then teachers would be put out because they'd have to grade late and then update grades daily to ensure that those students were eligible. And then the advantages would be students would have to do the work, learning would still be taking place in some sense. If I just revisited the attendance policy with input from teachers, students, community members, and parents, the disadvantages would it be that it takes time, and then there's several different opinions to consider. The advantages would be everyone has an input, and the data is analyzed to determine the best policy. So, in my opinion, the best option out of all of those would be to revisit the attendance policy with input from the teachers, students, community members, and parents. I just feel like the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. So the first thing I'd have to do would be to set a date, time, and location for a meeting to revisit the attendance policy. The second step would be to invite select teachers, students, community members, parents, Board of Education members, etc., anybody involved. Step 3 would be to hold the meeting with open communication. data analysis of attendance, provide examples, and share data of the effect of attendance and student learning. Step 4 would be to decide on a new policy or ideas to reinforce the current policy. Step 5 would be to share the outcomes with staff members. So I would do this in a face-to-face staff meeting just so they could kind of gain the seriousness and take some nonverbal cues from me just to understand how serious taking attendance would be and to not be lenient. Also would have to inform the students of the change, parents, Board of Education, community members, anybody else. Step number 6 would be to send out reminder emails throughout the semester just to instill the policy and just to keep that line of communication open. Step number 7 would be to be vigilant in the attendance policy throughout the semester with teachers and students to ensure the seriousness is communicated. Step number 8 would be to gather data on the difference the new policy has in attendance in regards to student learning. And then step number 9 would be to reevaluate with the same group at the end of the year to share the data, communicate the changes, and make any other changes for the next school year. And then those are my standards. So that is kind of a rundown of the case study. I really got a lot out of this. I thought it was a great example of how we can use data to make informed decisions that directly relates to student learning and how we can continue to be lifelong learners. Thank you.